Today we are going to make a teddy bear. It's going to work on your stitching, your hand stitches, specifically the blanket stitch to stitch around the outside of the bear, and sewing on a button. To get started, you're going to need your bear template and a rectangular piece of brown felt. You're going to need some stuffing, scissors, a marker, needle and thread, some buttons, and I have a little bit of scrap pink felt that I might use. So out of your piece of felt, you should be able to get two cutouts of your bear. One on one side, another on the other. So place your bear down, get your marker, and then trace around the outside of your bear. Once you have two shapes of your bear traced, you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut each bear out. Don't worry about the marker line. I'll show you how to fix that. Now that you have your two cutouts of your bear, see the marker? Flip it over. Then when you sew it together, you won't see the marker. So that'll be the inside of the bear. This will be the front and this will be the back. And then the marker will be on the inside. So you are to sew on at least 2 buttons. You can do more, but you need to at least do 2. Those 2 buttons would be the eyes. So decorate how you're going to lay out how you're going to decorate your bear first. 2 eyes. You might do a nose, I don't know. And I'm going to put 3 buttons, I think, down the middle. I think I'll do that. Okay, so 2 eyes. I don't know if I'll do a button for the nose or not. Well, might look cute. Okay. You might want to cut out a little bit of extra felt to do paw prints on the arms and the feet, hands and the feet. You might want to do little cutouts for the insides of the ears. That's up to you. But you must do at least 2 buttons, and then you're going to do the blanket stitch around the outside. So the first thing you want to do is sew on your buttons. I actually think I might just do 2 buttons for eyes, put some little pink ears on them, the 3 buttons down, I think it's a girl, down her front, and I might just draw a little mouth. Looks a little funny. I don't know what kind of a nose bears have. Something like that. Maybe. I don't know. We'll just leave it like that. Whatever you want to do. And I might put some 1, 2, 3, like little claws. 1, 2, 3. Maybe the same thing down here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. I actually think bears probably have more paws. So I went back and arched them around like that. I think she kind of looked like a cat instead of a bear. And I don't know. I might leave the ears. I might take them off. Now you're ready to sew on your first button. To do that, cut a piece of thread about your arm's length. Needle. You need a sharp needle to go through the felt. And the needle the eye of the needle is the hole. So you're going to thread the needle, hold it near the tip through the eye of the needle. Then you're going to pull both tails together. So you have two pieces at the end. Put the tails in the air and let the needle dangle. Now to tie a knot, watch carefully. Hold your tails with your right hand. Put your two fingers up like this in your left hand. Put the thread in front of it. Wrap the tails around behind your finger and pinch. You have a hole. So you loop it and then you swoop it. Swoop the tails through the hole. Pinch with your right fingers and pull. There's your knot. Don't pull it too tight. I like to cut above the knot so that you don't have a lot of thread. Now, get your first button. Place your button here. You have to pick it up and pinch it with your fingers, because you're going to come in from the back side. Just going to feel around until you feel the hole. You're poking them in the eyeball. Now don't pull real hard, because you could easily pull the knot through. Just kind of grab it with your finger on the back. And you kind of just have to hold it. And I like to go diagonally. So you're going to you came through here and go diagonally from the front. And then you're going to come up the same place where you originally came. Find that, oh, the wrong one. Find that hole, the same one. Come up from the back and then go down from the front. Do this 8 times. Up from the back, diagonally down. That's 3. And I just caught my bracelet. So I've done this 8 times, up and down. So now I'm going to go the other way. Come in from the back. Whoops, wrong hole. There you go. Coming up from this hole, a new one, and I'm going diagonally here and down. And I'm going to do this 8 times. 6 to 8 times. That will ensure that your button is on securely. Alright, now on your last one, bring it through, but don't go all the way. Come like right and catch it. Okay? So now your thread is in between the felt and the button. And this is just going to secure it even more. This is called the shank. You're going to wrap it. 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to take your needle, send it back through the felt to the back side. It's just going to make it more secure. And now you're going to tie off. Just catch a couple pieces of thread and through the loop. That made 1 knot. And do that 3 times. 2 through the thread and through the loop. And the 3rd time. Through the thread and through the loop. Now, you've successfully sewn on your first button. Cut it and repeat for the other eye. And then if you're giving him or her any buttons down the front, you can do so as well. Once you've gotten your buttons sewn on, you are ready to stitch your front and your back together. So this is going to be the front, obviously. Now, we had flipped this piece over so that you couldn't see the marker. Okay, now you want to flip it so that you can see the marker, because then that will be hidden in the middle. Put your front right on top. Line them up. If you want to pin it with some pins, I would suggest that. I actually just don't have any pins here with me right now. But you can pin it around to hold them together. And then you're going to, I've thread my needle. And then you're going to start with the blanket stitch going around. And you do need to do the blanket stitch because that will hold him together and keep the stuffing from coming out. And I like to start over here, and then I'll leave this part open to stuff the bottom. So I'm going to stitch all the way around and then stop when I get to right there so I can stuff them, and then I'll close them up. So to do the blanket stitch, come in from the back side. You always come in from the back. Pull through. Don't pull too hard, you'll pull it through. Grab your knot with your finger. Come back around. Now for the first stitch, you come in right about the same spot. And grab the loop with your finger and send your needle through the loop. Now, for all your other stitches, you're going to come in a little bit further down. Don't come way up. Your stitch will be too big. Come in right about there. Grab your thread with your finger. Send your needle through the loop. Let's see what that's doing. That's sending one piece across the top. Come in right here, down just a little bit. Grab your loop. Whoops. Come through the loop. Again, it's sending the thread right across the top. That's going to secure it better. Come in a little further down. And through the loop. So that's the blanket stitch, and I'm going to continue with that all the way around. You're going to have to be careful when you get into these little nooks and crannies. Just take your time. Alright, so I've stitched a blanket stitch all the way around. I'm really at the end of my thread. And this is actually probably a good opening anyway to stuff it, but I want to show you how to tie off. It's just like when you tied off with the button. Come around to the back side, grab a little bit of felt or thread, send it through and through the loop, and I really didn't leave much thread. Try to leave a longer piece. Come through and through your loop. I did not leave enough. Come through and then send the needle back through the loop. Alright, then cut that off. Now, you have an opening. So get some of your stuffing, a little bit at a time, because you want to stuff it way up there and get it way up into the ears. And you can use a pencil. I have some poker sticks at school. They kind of look like a pencil or a chopstick. Push it up into the ear. Pencil works well. Get a little bit more because you want to get it into the other side. Stuff it up there. And stuff his head. Stuff it into his hands, into his other hand. You really kind of just have to work with it. I think he needs a little bit more up there in his head. He's kind of, and he needs a little bit more up there in his ear. So I'm going to try to kind of just push it up there. Now, if you overstuff him, it might pull on your stitches. Tom wanted to have a nice fat belly. All right. Okay, now You definitely want to take some pins, which I don't have at home here, or right down here with me at least. Take some pins, not a needle, but a pin, and pin them. That'll help you to hold them closed while you continue to go around with the blanket stitch. You're going to continue to go around with the blanket stitch, tie off, and then you will be finished with your teddy bear.